We start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to give a quick update. First of all, if you refer to our analysis in my last video when the price was within this move, then about how we can look for trade, and even we can expect the price to reverse. And if we mentioned if we get any trade set up for buy, we can look for trade. Anyway, the price reverse, and even if we move to 15 minutes, the only way to look for trade if anyone get the entry from here. Anyway, whoever get the trade, at least move their stop loss to break even. If not, if they cannot, just take with the trade, because the way it's moving is really corrective. And right now we want to see what's the next. Anyway, it depends on the traders how they get the trade from here and the strategy they use. And we mentioned if we get any trade with the breakout of this stop, we have to start to manage it. Okay, that's why whoever get the trade, if they can move their stop loss to break even or take out the, if they can, if they cannot take out the trade, okay, in a small break even or a small profit. And if we put the stop in relative to the previous one, if we refer to the indicators, we see we have a divergence, but MACD doesn't show us a divergence. Okay, now we want to see what's the next, whether this is the flat correction in relative to this for one more drop, or this is the start of the up move. Anyway, if we put our fib here, the 27 will be 0.00385 as a target, following by 0.004. Okay, if anyone is still they keep the trade, this is the targets we can look for. But as we can see, the price broke the previous stop and we see the divergence. Since both of the indicator doesn't give us the same information, the possibility to put this one as a correction for one more drop is where, I mean, we're looking for this, but still we will have a possibility of the continuation. That means we don't have the confirmation for the price to drop. But when we look at this one as a technically, what we see here, the way it's moving, we can expect the price to drop. That's why if we're looking for trade for buy for continuation, we need to know about this. Okay. And how about if this one turns to a correction for continuation? Maybe we can look for this one as an internal flat. All right. Anyway, even if anyone was looking for this one to look for buy, they should know about this picture and made this one turn to a correction for one more drop. That's why any trade will be a short-term trade. As long as we get into the profit, we should start to manage. Okay, and right now we don't have any trade set up. We want to see what we have based on higher time frame. If you move to daily chart, as you can see, daily chart almost the price as the lowest price for this correction. That's why if you get any trade set up, this is what we're looking for. But we want to see how we can look for trade for long term. If you move to forward chart, as we mentioned in my last analysis, we mentioned if this one turned to a correction for one more drop with the breakout of the previous low, we can look for divergence and we can get the confirmation for reversal. That's why we mentioned we need to know that this one can turn to a correction relative to this for one more drop. If anyone is looking for buying, they should have the proper management. And this is the best if this one give us one more drop before we get the next move. Because at that time, based on forward chart and 1 hour chart, we can at least confirm with the indicators as a divergence. Now, we want to see how we can look for trade. If I move to 1 hour chart, the first thing is, as I mentioned, whoever get the trade from here, they should start to manage. And even if there is a continuation, we put our target here. But right now, we need to be really careful about this for one more drop. That's why if he wants to look for trade, let this one, if turn to a correctional flag, we can have entry above the top for next move. But again, any trade from now is a short-term trade. It depends on the traders and the strategy they're looking for. We can expect for continuation, but if this one continues a corrective move, we are not, I mean, any trade will be a short-term trade, but if we want to look for trade, we need to see the continuation as the sharp move with the breakout of the previous top, which is around 0.0039. Okay. Anyway, we don't have any trade set up for buying, and right now we're looking at this. And again, we need to be aware about this one. And if the price drops some more, it gives us a flag for sell. This is where we can look for sell, and at least we are not going to look for buying. And in this case, we just follow the chart. Again, whoever get the trade, we don't have any trade set up, and whoever get the trade, they should start to manage, at least take with the trade. And in this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.